Let's talk about our lives. Recap on what? Like,
Yeah.
what's
What
going
like
on?
what's going on in your life
What's going
since
on
we
in our lives?
started? Since we started, what's going on in your life?
Let's dial it back a little bit. Let's introduce ourselves. You guys, we're so excited because there have been so many changes like within the span of less than a month. The span of less than a month, right, Alix?
Yes, that is true. A span of less than a month of just
Madness.
just putting our heads together and making things come to fruition or fruition. One of
Fruition.
those. There we go. Whatever it is, we working it.
Right, whatever it is. Yeah, no, it's you want to introduce or you want me to? I guess I'll introduce because you're packing and you did it last time. Got it. Um
I'm over here trying to be Bob the Builder. So don't even worry.
Bob the Builder. You funny. All right, back to what I was doing. Okay. Pulling up our información.
Información.
Información para la
Informa.
día. ¿Cómo estás? Me llamo Kline. Nosotros hablar. That's as good as I can go.
You crack
I
me up.
want to be fluent in Spanish one day, like for real, for real.
I'm really good at conversational Spanish. Like, I would love to get better at it, but let me tell you, I know kitchen Spanish, which is basically I know how to talk shit, and, and it's not respectful whatsoever, but it does definitely get the point across.
Shit.
Like when one of the line cooks found out that I was gay, he told the rest. He told he told everybody else, like all the dishwasher, prep cooks, line cooks. They're all.
What?
He told them, and I remember one of the dishwashers' name was Abraham, and remember he was putting away dishes, and I was like down. I was like the sous chef at this point, and I was like just finishing up stuff in the kitchen, in the back kitchen, the prep kitchen. And
Mm.
he's like, "Tu American," which is basically faggot in Spanish. And
What?
but that I mean that's like a slang term. And I was like, like I laughed, but I was like, "See," he's like, and then he's like, "Por qué?" And then I was like, I was like, what? I was like, what Spanish? What in Spanish do I know that will convey how I feel? And I was like, you know what? I figured it out. So I said, to I was like, verga hacer mi pesadilla, which in Mexican Spanish means dicks give me nightmares.
Oh
And
shit. Damn. But
started
that's
really,
straight up. That's
but it
straightforward.
was,
That's
you know what?
direct
He
fuck.
started laughing. He was like, okay.
That makes sense.
I was so embarrassed to say it, but like, cause an older, like, trying to be like respectful to
Uh,
older, like
but you
elder.
got it.
What? But I
They
was like, that's
understood it.
the way I
Dicks
put
give
it.
me nightmares.
And
That
he
yeah,
was
that's
like,
real.
okay.
Yeah.
For his response, and I was dying. And to be honest with you, they all fucking were dying when I told him that. Like, cause like, of course, like he told the other, he told me, of course, like it's like whisper down the lane all over again. Like, oh, like she said this
Wow.
and all, and then it just became like a joke. And it was nice. I like that. It was like, and like the one line cook who was like, he's from Puebla, Mexico. He spoke both Spanish and English. He was like, yeah, he's like the only thing that like, especially for in a small town in Mexico, the only thing they know about like lesbians or gay people is what they see on TV. He's
Mm.
like, and that and so like they were just very surprised that like I wasn't like super masculine, but I wasn't like super feminine. They were just very intrigued. They're like,
That's true. I
like,
think I get that sometimes too. Like they'd be like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can't tell." Like, I'm just
yo,
like,
this
and,
bomber jacket did not get on me for nothing, right?
huh?
So this bomber jacket didn't just show up on me for nothing.
Right. This is a signature piece.
No, this took me 3 hours to pick out.
Right, that part. But yeah, no, that shit's like it's crazy. So it's yeah, I think it trips people out and they're like, yeah, because you're like, you're feminine, like you're not super. I was all like, yeah, I present as masculine, but I'm not really though. Like, I mean, I can be, but that's only when I'm in a certain mood. So
Yeah. It's like I still like, yes, I'll carry all the groceries, but if you don't fucking offer, I'm not gonna pass on that. Like
you funny. You said if you're not gonna offer, I'm not gonna pass on that. You tried it, but no, like that's enough for me. I like cooking, but like I'm like, yo, let's cook together. Let's cook, something else. Let's do those things together because I like being cooked for too.
yes,
But
right?
yeah, speaking of kitchens, so we're gonna circle that back. We're talking about kitchens. We are talking about our experience with nutrition. Welcome, guys, and thank you for coming on to the Upstream. Fourth time's a charm. All right. Hey guys, this is Clene, and I want to welcome you guys to the Obsidian Strength podcast. Alix and I are just going to be doing these mini episodes just to kind of have a informal, relaxed conversation about our experiences with certain aspects in our lives. Today we're going to be talking about nutrition specifically, and then probably even touch a little bit and recap on what has changed in our lives. So these are two questions I think we're going to tackle is what has been your experience with nutrition? And the second question is, how has your life changed within the past month, 30 days? And so does that sound good, Alix?
Yeah, no, that sounds good. That's yeah, no, we're just trying to, I mean, essentially just, let share with you our story a little bit about us and like, the various parts that, we know a lot of people like struggle with, some people thrive at, there's everyone has their own relationship with.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. So we are the Obsidian Strength Podcast, and the Obsidian Strength Podcast was established by myself and Alix in July of 2020. Why do we always mess that part up? It was the Obsidian Strength Podcast was established by Alix and myself in July 2022 in order to inform, empower, and highlight BIPOC LGBTQ plus people in the strength and fitness industry. Our mission is to hold fun, yet safe and meaningful conversations that strengthens our listeners, strengthens our listeners, mirrors our audience, and is through the dark myths to reveal our truths. One of these days, we're going to memorize this.
So you just said dark myths, and then you just said truth, like TRUCE. Did you say truth?
I said truths.
Oh, okay, heard that. It sounded like truce, like
Don't
TRUC.
judge me. I might have a slight lisp, but and stuttering and all those things. But anyway, but yeah, so first question. What has been your experience with nutrition?
Cool cheese. Do you want me to go or do you want to go first? Me go? Heard that. Duly noted.
And me.
So
do that for about.
My experience with nutrition is like, I think recent, like until just recently. Well, no, I think it used to be an ongoing battle because I was like, this works for me. And then as my body changed, it no longer worked. And I was like, man, like stop switching it up. So I had to find new things. So I know I did because I was working in restaurants a lot of the time, like I only had enough, I would only buy food for like breakfast. And so I remember just being hard on just like, okay, yogurt and granola, just like like having that. And then, you know, it's essentially sometimes like that would work. Sometimes it wouldn't. I'd be more hungry, but yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I think, you know, I've tried RP strength, RP strength, it's not necessarily a diet, just more of like a structure. Um, and that worked for me for a little bit. However, I was also working in the restaurant at the time, and so it was very hard to like dictate like what I ate because sometimes it was like it would be 8 o'clock and you're like the last time I ate was at noon and you're so hungry like you will take anything. So yeah, that was really hard at that point. I know um you know, I tried different things, but I think the most recent in like the last, I would say, 30 days has been just intermittent fasting, and not like doing and not intentionally. It was just more of like I just found that I wasn't hungry in the morning. I was definitely thirsty for water, and so I just drink water or have coffee, and I would be fine until like 11 o'clock or noon before I had like my meal. And then I would like maybe sometimes like my last meal is at like 7, 8, and sometimes 9. So you know, just kind of more or less just like listening to my body. So a little bit of intermittent fasting, but mostly just listening to my body because I feel like that is not something I have done before. I try to force it to do certain things, and then it is like definitely bitten me in the butt. So taking a moment, just like anytime I feel like I'm hungry, I'm like, am I hungry or am I thirsty? And then like most times I'm just thirsty. And then for water and just keeping it very simple. I also realized that it's on top of being keeping it simple, just cooking a lot of very healthful meals all at one time. So that way I have it maybe for 2 or 3 meals throughout the day, or I mean throughout the week. I most recently did a ground turkey stir fry. There was more ground turkey than rice, so I really enjoyed it. With collard greens, and I think that's also been my big thing too, is like not buying fresh produce but buying frozen produce, and because it just lasts a lot longer, and plus it's frozen at the peak. It's frozen at when it's like at its peakness of like ripe or in season. And so and that, I mean, I just like you can just tell the difference in flavor, and yeah, just keeping it simple. What about you, Clint?
It's really interesting because I feel like a lot of the things that you said I parallel with, and those things have definitely worked for me. And like I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like for me, I wasn't 100% prepared to do this episode, but life is lifing, and that's why we're gonna add and talk about that next question, because so much is changing in our lives in the past 30 days
30
alone.
days.
Like not even 30 days. It hasn't even been a full 30 days. So anyway, but what made me think of like how it's like this, what sums up my um you know, my success with like changing my body composition and nutrition and so on and so forth. I think this was around the time Alix started following me. And I don't know if you remember when I had that picture where I was, do you remember this picture?
Yes.
Okay. So is that around the time that you started following me? Like 2017, 2016?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
27.
So
I don't necessarily remember because I'm not
yeah.
like.
So it was like 20, yeah, this was 2017 because I took this in 2017. So this was right before I was right before or after my first strongman competition. And then yeah, anyway, so let me make sure I'm keeping track. But um I'll post this photo just like kind of as a throwback or something like that on my Instagram so you guys can see it. But it's choose your challenge. And that was like a photo that I posted. And I don't think fitness was like really super, super popular at that time and so on and so forth. And so a lot of things like, you know, if somebody saw you, like this was like 2017, 2016, 2017. The first time that I saw somebody doing a strongman or powerlifting competition was around that time. And I was in like my early 20s. Anyway,
Oh wow.
say all that to say, not early 20s, like mid 20s. So the moment I started realizing and understanding like body composition, where it like it kind of clicked, was all of those things that paralleled with you, like intermittent fasting,
Oh wow.
drinking coffee and water, reducing, you know, certain things that aren't necessarily good for the body, listening to your body, like paying attention. Like I think I started getting, my body started negatively reacting to to poultry,
Oh really?
yeah, poultry, beef, fish. It started natively reacting to these things and different spices. And so I don't remember what was going on at the time. Probably was stressing the fuck out. But I paid attention to my I paid attention to my body. I was like, this does not feel good. Something needs to shift. So I started trying, and I think that was around the time that me and my friend Inky met. Me and Inky met. Yes. Um, and that's when I started incorporating more produce into my diet. It wasn't even a matter of like cutting everything out. If I felt like eating a burger, I would eat a burger. If I felt like eating bacon, I would eat bacon, you know? And so I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping myself on time, but I'm going to read this. I'll post this. Like I said, it's, I'll say the first three: intermittent fasting, workout slash exercise 2 to 3 times a week, and drink more water slash choose healthier foods. And you can read the rest on my other post on a post. So those, like, you see how those things like parallel, and they have had, it's really simple. It's not really like that crazy. And so I'll turn it back over to you when we you know, if you have more to, you know, say on it. But one of my friends had mentioned that like it's really simple. It's not like cutting out everything. They said like high carbs? I mean, no, high protein, low carbs. It was like, and she didn't say, she said it's not no carbs, it's just lower carbs and like kind of the whole moderation thing. And then once she got used to how like it wasn't like it was new, it wasn't anything like it was uncomfortable, you know, starting out. But then once you got the hang of it, it was like it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think it was the same thing with my friend Ashley. I'll read this really quick and then I'll hand it over to you. Had said just today we had a group text going on, and I'll read it. Where is it? Where is it? My friend was saying, one of our friends, our mutual friends, was like, okay, I need to talk to you about food. And then the other friend had asked like the question like, so what are you not indulging in replacement of eating? Have you ever heard of that?
What are you?
What are you not indulging in? Like, so what is something that you're not enjoying that eating is replacing, or overindulging in eating is replacing?
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a good one. And so yeah. Anyway, back to you. Do you have anything to add to that?
no, I mean, I really think that, I mean, like there's so many different facets of it. I mean, I really think that, you know, like doing something that feels natural to you is a huge part of it.
Mhm.
Um, and I know that when I was like more into bodybuilding,
Mhm.
I remember I was forcing myself to eat to like catch up with the amount of protein I needed per day. And I was
Mhm.
like, there's no way. Like there's just no way. Like I'm not hungry, but I'm forcing myself to eat this and I just don't feel good after.
Yeah.
And then it I think and like I was like working with like a coach at the time,
Mhm.
and I was just like, yeah, this is just not working. It's just not working for me. And then but what I think all the experiences, I think it's really important to understand why each and every one of those experiences don't work for you. I think
Right.
there's like kind of reflection that needs to happen, just so that way you know, hey, what this did not work, this is why this did not work.
Right.
Because like I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing with dating, you know. Like you
Yeah.
date different people, and you're like, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. I mean, you might know what you want, but like it's faster to figure out what you don't want versus what you do. And so sometimes just create that list. You're like, don't want, don't want, don't want, don't want, and then like you can, and then after you have so many don'ts, you can actually see and reflect upon. Okay, these are things I do want. Why don't you want this? And then what do you want instead of that?
Right.
And so that reflection is a huge part of
Mhm.
figuring out nutrition, I believe. And that's worked
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, no, it's so funny you mention that because there was something that I was, and I'll keep it brief, but there was something that I read on, or just something like that. And it
Mhm.
says like nutrition is not all about your diet when it comes to food. It also comes to the things that you consume on a daily basis. Like,
Yeah.
what do you watch? What do you who do you surround yourself with? And so on and so forth. And so it's like diet is not nutrition alone, you know. And I think even this past year or two, like I think that it has helped me to learn that it's not about nutrition alone. Like, it's everything, you know. So
Yeah.
don't want to get too deep or too woo-woo about it, but it's just like, kind of taking those things into factor. Like, even just the back things, like we have a hormone called a cortisol levels, like our levels, cortisol. And I can try to repost something, but yeah, that's a stress hormone. And if that is affected, that can affect a lot of things in your body that cause weight gain or holding on to weight and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
anyway.
I mean, like all those ooh, there's something loose in this monitor. I'm hoping that it's fine. Um yeah, and you know what I think, and like, this is great because this is actually like feeding into something that we'll talk about later and lead to our next guest
Mm.
who does do sports nutrition,
Yeah.
and speak to some of these things as well.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm. What's the next question?
The next question is what has life been like the past 30 days? I do want to add one last thing. Like, I think it's interesting because it's just like I'm so fascinated with nutrition, and so like I'm working on getting a certification PN1 certification for nutrition. And it's
Nice.
like it's so fascinating to me because like it's so like when you mention those things like that I had to like I feel like it bothers people like how simple it is. They're like, there's no way. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like it's as simple as cut out soda. It's as simple as stop eating fast food all the time. Like, like cook at home. Like it's so like I think it just baffles people and I think they just find it hard to believe. So
I mean, it is. I mean, so I just want to throw this out there.
yeah.
The the way, in my experience, the way that the food system is set up in this US is ass backwards.
Yeah.
Number one. And that is what really affects everybody. Like, and there have been multiple TikToks and Instagrams and articles about how when you're in a predominantly Black neighborhood, there are so many fast food places and like one grocery store. Versus when you're in a predominantly white neighborhood, there's like 3 different grocery stores and maybe 2 or 3 fast food places.
Food deserts. We're in food deserts.
Food deserts, and like look,
the sociology degree.
There are certain, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to get us in trouble, but there are certain grocery stores that specifically target low income areas.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the growth, literally, there like so many things in there are high sodium, high fructose corn syrup, everything, and then their fresh produce section is only like 6 feet.
Limited, right? That is, yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head, and this is like there. I know you're, worried about getting in trouble, but this is in studies. Like this is, I literally took a class on this, like. And that's why like my mind was just so open because like you observe it and you realize like why don't we have these things in our neighborhoods, like why are these things over here, and then taking that study or taking that degree, that's why I feel like it's so valuable, but at the same time it's a thankless you know uh thing because that's how I learned about food. Exactly what you described is a food desert in Black neighborhoods. And so even with liquor stores, it's just like that's how like Oakland is a prime example of what happens sociologically in the world. All of the external problems, when we think that it's an internal issue, these are like serious external problems, and like it's like an epidemic. And I don't want to go too deep into that, but just telling and letting Alix know that she hit the nail on the head, that she's basically called out a food desert, call out food deserts, where if we are limited to, places with high fructose and, all the food that you probably don't need to be eating on a regular basis, when we're limited to those things, it's not helpful, nutrition wise.
Yeah,
So,
I think like I think it was either 2017 or 2019, they did a study and they said that it is actually to eat healthy costs an extra $1.50 a day versus eating, quote unquote non-healthy foods. Because, every so often I will buy that box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and not feel bad.
same.
I was like, because I want to support, but also like,
yeah, you enjoy
along with some Cinnamon Toast Crunch or some Lucky Charms. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah. Anyway, but and it's not to say that no, you should not eat any of these things, because everyone's on a budget. It is what it is.
Moderation.
Why are the things that don't help our body more available?
Right. You know why. Moving on.
Moving on.
We just gave y'all a little, we just covered a little crash topics on I'll figure out the right name for it, but it's I think it's so I'll have to look at my transcript so I can see what class that came from, but literal books about that stuff, like books.
Crazy.
Even the a prime example of the show, what was that? No, it was a documentaries are dope. They be, oh my God, they be putting stuff out there. But remember documentaries like Super Size Me. Remember that movie Super Size Me?
I did not watch Super Size Me because it made me nauseous to even just know what human bodies through.
You gotta watch it.
But like, I did see Food Inc. though. Did you see Food Inc?
Oh, I haven't.
Ooh,
we're gonna find that and post that in the link.
Food Inc. Let me tell you, as soon as I saw Food Inc., I was like, hell no. Right. I was like, like side-eyed Purdue, side-eyed McDonald's. It was like it's a whole thing. And it was just like, at the end of it, you just sat there, you're like, I want to eat something, but like
I don't know what to eat. Like, yeah. I still haven't watched what's that episode that it's the one about like they deciding to go vegan or something like that, and then somebody after you watch it, people try to go vegan for like 30 days and then they stop or something like that. I forget. I'm gonna have to try to find that video, but that and there was another video. So we'll post those below, and that talks, those are documentaries are dope. I feel like they don't get enough credit. But yeah, next question. So what was I talking about? I always forget stuff. Second question.
Me too.
That's why I write things down. What has life been like in the past 30 days for you? Like, how has life changed? What's been going on? This is episode 5. We're at the halfway mark. Like, has anything in your life changed thus far, Alix?
Dude, I mean, honestly, I am probably more organized. more so.
Start a podcast, guys.
This is a love project. This is like this is just this is a love project. And because this is a love project, I am purposely more organized. I do still forget stuff, so we're working on that. But I am more adamant about making sure that the time that I have outside of work is dedicated to doing something and either elevating the podcast, looking for more guests. It is.
And I appreciate you for that.
It is like invigorating, because I'm like, oh, I got stuff to do. And like, as someone who is neurodivergent, like super ADHD, like it helps me so much to be like, okay, I can have my hand in 3 different cookie jars, and like that is my max, but I can still excel.
You're neurodivergent?
Yeah, girl.
I'll have to look that up, because I don't even know what that means, and whatever that's supposed to mean, I don't get it from you. I'm drawing a blank. When I'm looking at you, I'm like, neurodivergent, Alix, that doesn't even seem like that matches. Anyway, but yeah, no, I say that like, invigorating, like inviting guests, like somebody reached out and was like, keep them coming, sis, because they're needed. Like, and it's just like that touched my heart, because it's just so like, I think that's when it like hit. It was just like, damn, some people really need these episodes, like, you know what I mean? And like this love project, and feeling like touching on the same thing, like they're not alone, they're not alone, whatever they're going through, their struggles, their challenges, they're not alone. So it's just like, yeah, I think that's definitely changed. That's been life changing for me too. It's like I'm getting chills just even talking about it. Like it's just like wow. Um, keep it.
It feels good. I talked to a friend yesterday on the phone, and she was like, she's like, hey, I'm not a POC, but I'm still getting a lot from these conversations. And she's like, listening to just your stories, like what, like Clene's story, Lex's story, Luisa's story. She's like, your story. She's like, this just makes me. She's like, I just want to get up. I want to get up and do something. You know. She's like, I feel inspired, but I also feel like there is community out there of people who are and or who have and are going through similar things, and it's just like wow. And yeah, I mean, I've gotten some pretty like jaw dropping responses from people who have listened, and it was just like okay.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
take compliments very well, and when I say don't, I don't compliment.
Same,
I
because my heart starts to flutter, and I'm like,
yeah,
thanks. I
I mean
gotta
like
take this.
now.
But yeah, no, if you can kind of, if they're okay with sharing it, or like, or if we can kind of just crop out the words and just share them just to see like, what people are saying, I think that would be amazing. I feel like people would love to
That's
see
our
that.
reel. That is our next reel, Clene.
Yeah, it is real or carousel or carousel.
You and these look, you gotta teach me how to do the carousels. Anyway,
I will. See, that's why I feel like it's all different hats. We're
yeah,
all different hats starting out, but like, I mean, God willing, think this, goes up. Like
yeah.
it we'll just be talking at this point.
How about you? How's your last 30 days been? Fill
Uh
us, Clene. Fill us in.
Lord Jesus, it has there have been ups and there have been downs, but I am I'm still in awe. I'm still in awe. Like, and I think um it's just amazing. Like I feel like almost 30 days ago, what was going on almost 30 days ago?
You were
Like
looking for an apartment?
I was looking for an apartment, but I was also trying to figure out what the fuck, what am I gonna do? Like what how am I gonna progress forward? I think it was like not even like a few days before that you were saying like we gotta do this or it's not gonna get done. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, you right. I don't know if you texted that to me or if you just called me and I was like heard that I was like, she's for real. Like I was all like, is she ready for this? I'm not ready for this, but let's fucking do it. All right, cool. Talk to you tomorrow. And it was like it just
exactly.
went from there. And it's just so like I'm in awe. And so I say all that to say um life changing. Life-changing. I will agree that it's I am a lot more organized than I usually am, like when it comes to, this in particular and just life in general. It's like you kind of get in that flow, when you find something that is fulfilling, and so I think I've been talking to my students about the Maslow's laws or Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like the 5 basic needs. And this is like the pyramid. The pyramid is where it's at the top where it says fulfillment or something like that. And that is what is your why? What is your, what brings you fulfillment? Is this, and so on and so forth. I'll maybe create something on that a little later. But it was amazing because this has been one key element to my fulfillment. And it's been working with kids. I'm working full-time with kids as an educator. and at as my sister calls it, at Chance Youth, working with them. A major milestone has taken place where I've like Alix is like, you guys aren't gonna be able to see this because she's like in the video, like trying to hype me up to say it. But like a milestone is just like getting in a position where I have my own space. Like, you know, like I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that stuff. Like when you feel like you made a milestone like that, it's just like I feel like it's worth sharing, you know, and it's inspiring, you know, because a lot of times we think that you know, we wonder like, you know, is this it? Like, is this all that's gonna happen? Like, is this my life? You know what I mean? And so 30 days, y'all, 30 days. I'm still in awe. And just like what Alix said, the feedback, like with this show, this episode, and the doubt almost seeps in a little bit, like where you're like, oh, it's not perfect. The video is not perfect. The audio is not perfect. This isn't perfect. Oh, they're not going to like it. But it's just like, just put it out there, you know? So when Alix said the whole thing about let's get it done, or like we either need to do this or it's not going to get done at all. Like, I'm like, all right. let's do this.
I know what the hell I had that week because I was like on it. No, it doesn't happen. It's not going to happen now. It's not going to ever. Now. In this.
No, she did not say it like.
I was like,
that's probably how she was saying it in her head.
That's exactly how I was in my head. And like, and you know what? I was talking to that was a voice that was talking to I was talking to myself in that moment, and about multiple things. But you know, when we talked, because I was so excited about this project, I don't know. I was, you know, I was just like, no, like we got to do it now. We got to do it now. And yeah, and it happened. Yeah. That's the best part. It happened.
It has. It's amazing. It's like, it's very jaw-dropping. It's eye-opening. It's like what the things you can do in 30 days. Like, and I know like we're all going through like our life things, and you know, mental health is real, as we always say, like, you know, but it's just all like going back to the basic human needs, like what is fulfilling to you? Find something that's fulfilling. You know, the other four I'll touch on like real quick is like, it's what are your physical needs? What do you need to survive for physically? The other thing that I talked about with my students was what is your safety and security? What gives you safety and security? And that's like shelter, financial security, and protection. And then I started kind of diving into those. So if you guys want me to like do a video on that, like I could do that as well. But it's been amazing. And like, I feel like if we're taught at least those things, like we could be okay. You know,
that is all it wants to be, is okay.
Yeah, like be okay. And if, you know, God willing, we're you know, we excel beyond that, just being okay, you know. And I feel like these past 30 days has been like, I've excelled beyond more than I could imagine in a while, like putting out something that's ours to claim.
Yeah, this project has inspired me to increase the amount of monitors I have on my desk.
How many? You said you got 2, right?
Yeah.
Are you in your new spot?
No, I'm just impatient. And I was like, well, low key, I don't want to. I'm really lazy in the way that I'll do the work, but I will do the work in the least amount of movement possible. Mm-hmm. So I'm setting up the desk now. So then all I need to do is just take off the monitors and then because it's like a discontinued IKEA standing desk, I could just make it small, chuck it in the car, drive it the 6 blocks, and then just put it, and then just set it up.
That sounds very convenient. I can't wait to get a standing desk one day.
Look, Facebook Marketplace. Look, I will tell you everything, all my monitors, everything.
I'm gonna be surfing through that place.
You gotta watch out for the scammers, because they are out there, like, and they will just ruin the entire experience for you. Yeah. But aside from that, it's really good. I think when my partner and I moved into the house that I'm currently in, everything that we pay, 90% of the things that we bought to outfit the house was all off of Facebook Marketplace. And we paid less than to outfit the entire house. I'm talking everything from the gym in the basement to like a kitchen with all types of utility, all the types of like small wares and whatnot, couch, TV, everything. We paid like $2,300 in total to like outfit the entire house.
Yeah, no, I never know.
Pandemic did well.
That's how I got my weight set.
Right. I got my rower off of Facebook Marketplace, but my dumbbells and the workout bench I did get off of Amazon, but they were on sale because it was a Christmas sale.
Yeah, no. Pandemic, buying weights in the pandemic was like trying to search for gold, and they treated it as such. Like, I think we talked about it. It was like $2 a pound, $2 to $3 a pound. I was like, so this is the new currency, because some people need to lift. It's like needed.
I was like, yo, y'all trifling.
I paid that $2 a pound though. Well, I think I got a pretty good deal. Actually, I looked up.
Look, I mean, look, if the whole point is like, yo, if you feel like you got a good
I got a barbell and about 300 pounds of weight.
Damn.
Or like, I want to say 250 or 300, something like that.
Damn. Yeah, I get a barbell. I have a what you call a sandbag, a 25-pound sandbag.
I think that's going to be one of my next investments. I love sandbags. Go ahead.
I actually realized, and after I bought my dumbbell set, that I really like kettlebells, but I'm too cheap, and where we are not going to change that anytime soon.
Kettlebells are expensive, are they?
Yes, I would say they're more on the expensive side.
What about trying to look on Facebook Marketplace?
They're
Marketplace, so we should probably like this out. I said, look at us advertising FB Marketplace. We should probably bleep this out.
Look, it works. Yes, you got a monitor. I do.
You can sing, actually.
Yeah, don't tell nobody.
So you gonna cut this part out?
You can keep this part in. Just
cut out the singing part.
Like that's the most you're gonna get out of me.
I think I'm gonna keep the guess who got a monitor. Dang, kettlebells are low-key expensive. Shit.
Kettlebells are very expensive.
45-pound kettlebell, $60. $60.
Like I mean, very, very sad. However, I did get the majority of my equipment from CrossFit gyms that were going out of business.
Yeah, that's a good spot to do it too. Like if they're going out and they just trying to
very sorry that they did have to close their business. Right. And also thank you.
Right. Because they're just trying to get rid of stuff. Ooh. Wait.
Are you on Facebook Marketplace right now? Girl.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at the kettlebell. I said I was gonna look it up. Anyway.
I know. But like I saw it in your face. Yeah,
You saw it on my face. It was glossing off my face.
like all the quote unquote suggestions, and I was like, "Girl, bring bring it back."
That monitor looks bomb though. Spectra? Is that what it's called?
Scepter.
Spectre. I might be slightly dyslexic too, but you
This it's a
know, yeah, Spectre, Spectre.
scepter.
Oh, Scepter. Gotcha.
So they're gaming. They're very popular for gaming monitors, just because like the pixel and everything is like super sharp. It's really good. Obviously my one monitor is bigger than the second one, but who cares? But because I have my Mac, I just want to make sure that I am able to adjust and do what I need to do on it without it being cloudy. Macs are notorious for not being as friendly with all monitors.
Are they affordable?
Yeah. So Scepter is actually a little bit more expensive than if you just got like an Acer or an Asus monitor. Just like a regular monitor. But you know, they do the job.
Okay. How do you spell it?
SCE as in Paul, T as in Tom, RE.
How big is that one? Those are nice. How big is
So
that one?
I have a 22 inch, 24 inch.
The first one that popped up was a 24-inch. I'm looking on Amazon. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's reasonable.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's not bad.
But when I like, makes me feel bougie, and I like it.
Even the curved one is like affordable. It's like maybe $8 more.
Yeah, it's really I like them. I did not know how much I liked them until I bought the first one, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting a second one.
Yeah, no, this is dope. Yeah, this is borderline bougie, but it's okay. It's a good bougie. I said it's a good bougie.
But yeah, it's the I need more space because I am learning coding, and so even though I have my Mac, I also have an HP computer that I'm just gonna I have a docking station, so I'll be able to like switch between the HP and the Mac. But the HP I'm going to use to learn coding because I want to do front end development. Because I want to build a website, which okay, I'm trying to build a website.
You're trying to what?
Trying to build our website.
Oh,
well, this is like my pet project because in order to do a front end for front end developer, the best way I learn is hands on, and so I just chose that because I'm like, oh, this is something, and like it's not, and like I mean, honestly, it's not going to be like our exclusive, but just like I'm like, oh, let me build something, and then obviously have you check it out, and then but it's a way for me to learn more front end development and that maintenance.
Gotcha.
Because I'm trying to work on my career trajectory.
Yeah. No, I get that. Are you taking sorry, my processing stuff, but are you taking a class?
So my company has a free software developer boot camp. And so I signed up for that. It was supposed to start in April, but that got pushed back. No, it's supposed to start in March, but that got pushed back. But essentially, as soon as because like the first month we're learning about databases, and then the second month we're learning more about like Java, SQL, coding, and all that stuff. So, I'll have that boot camp, and then essentially like I do want to like create a couple like just websites just so I can have as an example of what I can do.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was gonna ask, do you plan on doing that like for a company, or do you want to do like freelance, or like What are you thinking? Or kind of keeping
I
that?
would like to do more. I would actually like to do more with hospitality.
Okay.
So I so do more front end development, as like whether it's through apps or building a website or media, but yeah, like I am looking to, I mean, essentially, like I want to work for a company first, kind of get my footing, a company that works with a variety of customers, and that way, like I'm more well rounded,
Mhm.
before I kind of set out on my own.
Okay. What's your dream company?
So I changed the name of my food company to Mummy and Pox. So
Okay.
I'm actually teaming up with my sister,
Mhm.
and we are going. So Mummy and Pox is basically the nickname my mom and aunts and uncles had for my grandparents.
Mm.
Um, and basically, it's mom and pop shop of like Trinidadian street food.
Mm.
Street food, drinks, like desserts and stuff like that. So things that like were passed down through like my generation, passed down to my generation, using that, and basically just kind of like sharing a bit of like my family's culture
Mm.
with other people. I think it's pretty cool.
That's dope. You know what's funny is I just saw a YouTube video earlier today. Like my brain break is like looking at YouTube videos, learning about different marketing stuff. But yeah, one person, I'll send it to you, was this chick who she was talking about using you're getting paid to talk about and like get people to experience your culture. And that was a method of, or a side hustle on how to make more money, because you can do it through experiences and like Airbnb experiences and so on and so forth. And I was like, oh, she's spitting some game. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's true, because people would love to, have an experience like that. So I'll send you that video and we can post a link if you guys are interested. But uh yeah, no, I just thought it was dope. That's dope. So I was asking in reference to, and then we'll wrap it up, but like I was talking about what's your dream company for front end web development?
Oh,
And congratulations in advance when you do launch that. I'm like looking forward to one.
and so that's where Cool Cheese Company is gonna be. Cool
Mm.
Cheese Company is like front end development,
Mhm.
web design. Yeah,
Oh, you want to start your own Got you. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
because like Cool Cheese Company, I'm doing, especially if I'm doing a lot of front end development for hospitality and the food industry, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's
Um,
brilliant. A lot of them
and
need it.
box, that just made a little bit more sense because essentially like the recipes that we grew up with were actually brought over by my great grandmother from Trinidad
Mm.
to US when my mom and they came over.
Mhm.
So um I think it's a way to like respect them in a bit.
I think that's dope. That's
So
gonna
what
be it.
you? What you doing?
Huh?
What you doing?
What you mean?
What's your
I'm
company?
so
What you
glad
doing?
you guys are not gonna. I'm so glad you guys aren't seeing this video, because we're so freaking goofy. When I was just telling one of my other friends, and he said something slightly inappropriate, which I'm not gonna repeat on here. And then Alex goes and repeats and sings it in the song, and I'm all like, "What is wrong with my friends?" But
Yo
there's
man, I
them.
was about to stop a beat too. I was like, yo, this is gonna be a hook. This is gonna be a hook.
There's nothing wrong with my friends. They're just unapologetically themselves, and it just cracks me up. But anyway, so I what am I doing? Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, yeah. What is yeah.
As far as
I
what?
don't know the question that kind of veered off into what I'm doing, but I was just asking, what are you doing?
Oh, for real? Oh, for real? That's what it was. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Without realizing? I didn't realize I did that. I was just curious. We were just talking.
I know, but I'm also
Having a
curious about.
we're having a conversation. Having a conversation. So we don't have to talk about me. Okay. So I am currently rebranding a couple of my original shirts. I'm not as confident as I was with my whole drawing skills and former art life, which I need to tap back into because I kind of miss it. But I wasn't really confident in it. So in short, I ended up outsourcing and having somebody redesign a couple of the shirt designs. And my brand is called Eternal Apparel brand. It's called Eternal Apparel. And I am drawing a blank because my brain is sizzling right now, but I'll type the mission on the video, the audio video. There's no going to be no official video on here, but the audio video. Huh?
I said y'all don't want to see this video.
We're not going to post the video, but we'll do the audio video. Anyway, I'm doing those. And then I'll just say one other thing that I'm doing is I am writing.
Oh.
I'm writing.
Are you like novel, fiction?
A little bit a tad bit of everything. I wouldn't say a little bit of everything, but a tad bit of everything. Well, not everything, but one or two different things. One or two different things, and I'll leave it at that.
Nice. Well, that's exciting.
Writing, and then trying to work towards eventually getting my nutrition cert for PN, and then working on getting my life coaching certification as well. So yeah.
Yay!
But working to that point where I'm eventually kind of making this kind of new form of life college, and then eventually go back maybe for something else. I don't know. But this year is just kind of like me getting certifications, and then I'll consider whether or not I want to go back to school for one or two things, one thing or the other.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't long-winded, but
no, that sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, so I'm excited for us. What we did a lot in 30 days, man.
A lot. But
like, recap. What were the top three? Like, in like 5 words.
First of all, you know, I'm the gift of gab over here.
Same. Parallel universes. Remember?
It's very true. I don't know about 5 words, but I could say confidence, the ability to recognize my self-worth, and the ability to fight for it.
Same. I'm signing on this invisible video that yes.
This invisible video.
We can see each other, but you guys won't be able to see us. Anyway, same. Yeah. 100%.
I'm ready for a change, understanding that no one else is going to invest in you like you are going to invest in you. And people like to gaslight, you gotta pick and choose what you can and cannot do, and kind of go from there. So
yeah, kind of just gotta ignore, like, because I feel like the kind of go-to saying, like, I think when it comes to like envy and stuff like that, and this is a whole nother like topic, is just like kind of realizing that in some instances some people are more fearful of what you're capable of doing because they would never like go to that point to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And so doing something that is out of the norm or out of your comfort zone, like, yeah, the world says there's hundreds of thousands of podcasts, but it's still very minute compared to the people in the world,
yeah.
So I'm proud of us, girl. We doing it.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm putting my desk together. I'm like ready for more things.
Right.
Feels good.
Who's our next guest that we're gonna be? Are we gonna keep that a secret? Or are we gonna post that?
No. So our next guest is Morgan Vaz. So I'm pretty sure we actually, you know what? I don't even know if that's her full fucking last name. But anyway, um, Morgan Vaz, who used to be she was not my coach, but she's an Olympic lifting coach. She's a Olympic lifting athlete. She also works for Black Horse Nutrition, and actually one of her clients has made it to the CrossFit quarterfinals, and I think it's going to the CrossFit semifinals now. So that's why I think that's the segue from our nutrition here, and we can actually kind of maybe talk about more about this nutrition. And I do believe that she does more of the sports nutrition aspect of it, but still, I mean, that all really kind of plays a role in what you do day to day, honestly.
That's when nutrition becomes a science.
Yeah.
That's
right.
It's a hardcore science.
Yes, and
because when I was talking to my kids and I was talking about like macros and stuff, they were like, "This is science." I'm like, "Yes."
Kids be like the most observant people. You're like, yes. Like,
correct. Now you're picking up what I'm putting down. But that's the more you know, advanced version. But yeah, anyway, it's so cool, and I think it's gonna be neat because I love the topic of nutrition. I think when I was taking it when I was in college, I was like, it was beyond me. I didn't understand what I was like. What?
it was crazy. You know what? In when I went to culinary school, we did have to take a nutrition class, and I actually still have my nutrition book from that school, and it was actually the same nutrition book that they were using over over at New Everett, UPenn and Drexel for like their like nutrition and dietitian program. So I felt like really kind of bougie.
And that's why I wanted to
when you go to culinary school and you realize that there's some that you might be using the same book as a school that is actually a very well established for more than a century type of school, you feel like you kind of made it, especially since you aren't paying that type of tuition. Hey. You're like, oh, I'm paying less tuition. I'm learning the same as you are.
Right. It's the same. It's this, man, it's amazing how things like parallel with each other. So we definitely have to talk more about that with her, like, or even on one of our, casual talks. Casual talk episodes, just like diving into that a little bit more, like culinary school. I would love to hear more about your experience and how it parallels, because I think that that's or in parallels with industry science is what she's getting at.
Yeah. Ultimately, the way culinary school is that culinary school is an associate's degree in accounting, business management, science, and math.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I
don't realize that. Yep.
And people, and it's crazy how much like being a sous chef is the same as, and being a sous chef or an executive chef is the same as being a project manager. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very same skills you need, just different type of people you're talking to.
That part. Well, all right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Like we said, this topic can take even an hour, but we did tap into life, though. We did tap into how life has been going. And again, I want to say that I'm really proud of us, and I hope that like we continue to just go on an upward trajectory. Alix is cheering like silently, but and like But it's dope. I love this for us, and I hope that we just continue. I know that and I believe that we will continue to move forward and work our way towards episode 10, and then even go beyond 100 followers. Hopefully we can get to, one of these days we get to 1,000 and maybe more, and just continue to reach people that can resonate with our stories. And so I'm gonna wrap up and say
Bye, 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 bye.
bye. Goodbye. Um,
Thank y'all for listening. Please subscribe and share our podcast. We are really excited to share our journey and experiences with you, as well as learn along the way. If you are a part of the BIPOC community and you would like to share your journey, whether it's strength, fitness, or wellness, or anything in between, please send us an email at info@obsidianstrengthpodcast.com. And remember to follow us on Obsidian Strength Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you very much, and see y'all later.
Peace out. Oh, and LGBTQ, if you're a part of the BIPOC and LGBTQ community, we support our people, yo. And so
BIPOC, LGBTQ, all the alphabet people.
All the alphabet people. All right. Love y'all. Okay, bye.